When it comes to bonding with our kids, I had no idea what to expect. Actually, I didn't even think about bonding. I just assumed all of it's going to work out perfectly because I had this Pinterest idea in my head of how parenthood is going to be. My kids are going to be perfect. They are going to obey. I am going to love them unconditionally, which I do. So we're going to talk about the realities of bonding. It comes with a fear. Am I going to do it right? Am I screwing up my kid right from the beginning if I don't bond correctly? So go grab your coffee and come join me right back here. Let's throw out all the Pinteresty, ideals of parenthood, okay? Because y'all, that's not real, all right? What's most important is you and that child. For the first time that you hold them, just bonding with them, you're going to learn your child's personality. You're going to figure out what works for you, what works best for them, and you are going to grow and bond together slowly. But practically, what in the world does that look like? Maybe you have no idea how in the world to bond. What does that look like? So I'm going to give you some ideas. Let me tell you first, there's no right or wrong way. I mean, a wrong way if you ignore your kid and you just hope that they bond with you. That's the wrong way. In reality, when we want to become parents, we're not doing that, right? We're loving these kids. We are trying to figure out how best to grow our relationship with them. We're going to talk infants first, and then we're going to bring in if you're getting an older child. The ideas are very similar with some twist to it. So if you are getting your child as an infant, can babies, when they're first born, differentiate between different humans? No, that's a fact. So that takes time. Babies bond slowly with their caretakers, and they will bond with whoever is there consistently. Let's talk about the cocooning idea. This is totally new to me. We did this, but I didn't know it actually had a name. So cocooning is where you are the sole caretaker for this baby. Oh my gosh, what a privilege, right? So that looks like you never put the baby down. You are not letting grandma and grandpa come over and help feed the baby, change the diapers. It is solely up to you. So sorry, grandma and grandpa, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. You are establishing ground rules for this child. They are going to know that you are going to give them everything that they need. Feedings, diaper changes, kisses and hugs and smooches and nuzzling and bath time. All of that is up to you for a certain period of time, and you have to decide what that looks like in your family. A friend of mine who just adopted a precious baby boy, she said she took him to the doctor, and the doctor said, oh my gosh, there's no balding on the back of his head from laying down in his crib. His head is perfectly round. And she's like, yeah, because I never put him down. So that is the perfect idea of cocooning. Along with cocooning, skin to skin is a great idea. So skin to skin, you can do it, your husband can do it. You are putting that baby inside your shirt, and you are letting them feel the warmth of your skin. Your heartbeats are together. There is a lot of healing factors to skin for infants. And you are spending as much time as you can together where that baby's head is just right up in here. Their body is laying across you, and you are bonding that way. It's just this beautiful emotional time between you and that child, and there are different kinds of wraps that you can use that will hold that baby in place. A friend of mine has a shirt that has a little kangaroo pocket inside. Isn't that awesome? That she just sticks her baby in there, and it has a belt underneath that holds the baby in place, and she can walk around all day and never has to put that baby down, and that baby is right there. There are also dad ones just like it. Just Google like dad kangaroo shirt, and oh my word, it's the funniest things, because you have like this model with perfectly pecked, everything, shirt open, baby, it's hilarious. So there are different things that with the skin to skin that can help you so you can still have hands free. You want to block out family time. When you know you're going to be bringing that baby home from wherever, You need to say, all right, Grandma and Grandpa, we love you. We want you to meet this child, but you are keeping visitors to a very minimum, and you are creating a routine with that child. That child knows that everything they need, they are going to get from you. Not from big sis yet, not from big brother yet, but from you and your spouse. Infant massage, that is a great way that you can bond with your baby. It is after bath time, you put lotion all over their body and you are rubbing their arms and their necks, their shoulders, their legs, their feet, and you are talking to them, you are singing to them, you are giving them eye contact unless they fall asleep, which chances are they will. And it is just a precious time between you and that child that you are touching them, you are caring for them, they are hearing your voice along with your touch at the same time. And that's a really special time. When you are bottle feeding, hold that baby as close to you as possible. Have your shirt open. You do have visitors over, keep your shirt on, but hold that baby as close to you as possible so that they smell you and that they know that they are being taken care of. Think about breastfeeding. That is one that we thought about, and I had a couple people say, that's just a little bit weird, so don't do it. Even though in my soul, I wanted to try it, I was super insecure about even trying it and what other people would think. Okay, you guys, throw out what other people think. You do what you and your spouse feel is best to do with this child. If you want to breastfeed, go ahead and talk to your doctor about breastfeeding. There are tons of supplements, and it's probably you are not going to be able to produce as much breast milk for your baby as they need. You use formula and then you can supplement and just use it as a bonding time. It's not going to be their sole, chances are, it's not going to be a sole source of their nutrients, but it is going to be just another way of bonding. If you know you're going to be at the hospital with your baby, talk to your birth family and talk to the social workers about being able to have your own room at the hospital. We had that for both of our boys separately, and that was the best thing that we could have ever done. We got to see the birth family as much as they wanted or we wanted, and it gives us a little bit of space, yet all being under the same roof. And that baby is transitioned into your care at the hospital when doctors and nurses are still there. It gives you a little bit of buffer to your, oh crap, what am I doing? Because you know there are professionals there who can say, I wouldn't hold them like that, or they're crying because they need to eat, or change their diaper, dummy. There's people there who can help you. But talk to your birth family about how comfortable they would be with that, because you want to honor them. You want to honor their role in this child's life, in your life. They are forever woven into your family, and you want them to be as comfortable and confident in you as you want them to be in their adoption plan. If you do get to be at the hospital when your child's born and you do get to have that room ahead of time before that baby is born, and you have all the things, right? You have the diaper bag all packed, ready to go, your hospital bag all packed, ready to go, and take out those swaddling blankets that you're going to use to swaddle your baby and start sleeping with them. Start carrying them with you everywhere you go, sleep with them at night. So when you are wrapping your baby at the hospital with those blankets, it smells like you. Kind of like when you get a puppy. And if you're going through a breeder, you take a blanket of your smell to the breeder and they give it to your puppy. So when you come pick that puppy up, that puppy knows that you're mom and dad. Lame analogy, but it works. The sooner you implement all these things, whether it's cocooning, skin to skin, close bottle feeding, keeping people at bay, whatever it is, however you picture yourself bonding with that child, once you start this process, the quicker all of it goes. If you're really nervous about bonding and it takes you a while to kind of figure it out, that just pushes off the bonding process. So as soon as you look that child right in the eye, that baby in the eye, you begin bonding with them that very second. And over that first month of that child's life, if you get to be a part of their first month, by the time that month is up and their starting to look around a little bit more and their internal clock is changing to act like a real human, that's when you walk into a room and you say something and their little head is going to turn to look for you or to kind of look up because they recognize that you are mom or you are dad and they want you. It is the most beautiful thing ever. All right, let's talk older children. If you are adopting an older child, this is going to be a little bit more tricky, right? It's not like this infant who comes from the womb to your arms and you get to do everything for that child. No matter what age this child is coming to you, they have had a past and they are going to learn how to trust you, right? So you take the same idea of cocooning where you block off family time, you take, let's just say, a month, whatever your family needs, and you have to determine what that looks like. Take time off work for both an infant or an older child, and you are saying, our family is important. You kid, you are important. We love you, and we want to set our family up right from the start on a solid foundation. So cocooning, you are the only caretaker. You are the ones feeding them. You are the ones changing their clothes, bathing them, depends on their age, right? You are their sole caretaker. You need to establish that. Establish a routine. When you talk to them, look them in the eye, touch their shoulder or their arm when you are telling them the things that you love about them or that you appreciate about them. You want to build them up with your words. You want to say encouraging things. You want to ask them, hey, what kind of dinner sounds good to you tonight? Or we were thinking about going to do this. What do you think? You are bringing them into your fold and you are wanting them right from the start to feel like you care about them. Not that you wanted to add a person to your family, but that person standing in front of you, you care about them. You make sure to play together, to take a family picture. Even if it's a selfie in your living room, take a family picture, have it printed out, and you get to put that in your kid's room and somewhere up on your wall where that child knows, this is my tribe. This, no matter how much I fight against it, this is my tribe and they love me. Leave surprise messages for them. If they're old enough to have a phone, you text message them, I'm thankful for you. Thank you for making your bed this morning. Or I don't know, whatever you want to say to them that you know would mean the world to them, that's what you do. Figure out their love languages. If they're old enough to be able to be communicating with you, then watch them. Watch them, listen to them, figure out what their love language is, and speak into what those are. That is going to help that child feel way more part of your tribe than anything else. Listen to them. Give them your full attention. That when they are talking, they are the only ones in the room that matter. You want to make sure that they know that they are heard by you. Not just, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but deeply heard by you. Use verbiage like, this is my son, this is my daughter, this is my family. Find a commonality with them. Find something that they're interested that you can be interested in also. You guys can create silly songs together, or there's an inside joke or something, you know. Those are different ways that you can find a commonality that you guys can build on. And know that each child is going to bond, especially an older child, they are going to bond at different levels. So be slow. Don't rush anything. Be deliberate with every single step. When you bring them into your fold, you are being consistent with them. You are not giving up on them. You are giving them a healthy space to take their time to bond with you. It's not going to be within a month like an infant is. And if it seems to take a really long time, you can work with a child behavioral specialist to help you get over some of these hurdles. I read a story once about a family who adopted an older child, and it took about a year for the bonding to really come full circle. And that parent said in his story that he knew that bonding had actually taken place, had rooted itself once that child started to act out. He knew that that child trusted him enough that he was going to act out and know that nothing was going to happen. He wasn't going to be taken away. So I thought that was really interesting. We have some really dear college friends of ours who live right down the road, and they have 2 adopted daughters. So I want you to hear their take on their bonding with their daughters. Watch.
This is Matt and my wife Kelly. We have 2 adopted daughters, and one is 15, one is 11. Both came to us from different sources. So one was a private adoption and the other one was through foster care that we adopted.
The 2 things that I want to say about our girls and adoption. Number 1 is the biggest advice that we got before Ivy was born, our oldest. And this has been, to me, some of the greatest advice that we have gotten. And that is that we always talk to our girls about their adoptions.
Normally, like casually.
Yes, yeah. Casually. Like we've never, ever taken our kids and had a sit down conversation with them about anything about their adoption. Most of the questions or conversations that we've had have been in the car. The last conversation I had with my youngest was when I was cutting her hair and we started talking about it. We don't talk about it all the time. And the reason why we got that advice was because the person giving it, who had adopted, said, you never want your kids to feel abnormal or that there's something wrong with them or different. And we celebrate adoption. Our girls know their adoption stories by heart. We celebrate gotcha days. We do everything. Like we talk very out in the open about adoption, but we never have like this serious sit down, like we need to have a discussion about such and such. Like it's been very natural, very organic. My girls just love their adoption stories or our girls love their adoption stories, but we've never, it's never like they love being adopted. As far as bonding goes, because that's the topic that we're talking about, I think that we have done a good job of really talking about their differences. Like one of our daughters is Hispanic and, you know, going to the pool, I'll be like, oh, I wish I had beautiful brown skin like you. Like, I love your hair. I love, like, we just take something that's unique to them and we celebrate it and tell them how much we love it, and just spending individual time with them and making them feel that their background and their birth family, their origin is important to us. So we just spend individual time and compliment them.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's key. I think the other thing when I think about this topic is, you know, especially for first-time adoptive parents, they may be a little bit anxious about, you know, whether or not they think they will be able to bond, maybe in the same way that a natural birth parent would. We never had that issue. I mean, from the moment we first saw them, like we were bonded to them. It's just a natural thing.
And our extended family also was bonded to them.
Oh yeah,
and loved them.
Yeah, and so don't let that stand in the way of any kind of decision that you might be, you know, like thinking, hey, I might not be able to bond in the same way that I see other friends who have, you know, births naturally. It was just never a thing, and definitely hasn't been a concern for us.
Mm-hmm. And I would also say that our girls, their backgrounds and their one being in foster care, one being private, were completely different. We had completely different situations going on. None of it looked the same, but they've both been very secure and love being part of our tribe. I think we've done a great job, Matt.
It's good. Me too.
Yes, Matt and Kelly, you guys are doing an amazing job raising your daughters. They love you to the moon and back. And I love that they talked about continuing on the bonding process. You continue to bond with your kid. It's not just a one-time thing, right? With any relationship you have, we always have to work on those. Always, always, always. That never ends. And we do the same thing, just like Matt and Kelly, where we talk about our kids' adoption all the time. We are so proud of it. We are giving them the space to celebrate their adoptions, their adoption story, how God made us a family. And we want them to always look back and have this deep sense of pride that mom and dad love us without a doubt and our adoption story and how amazing those are. So when you are constantly talking about adoption and just casually bringing it up, that gives your child an over and over and over sense of security and that they are loved and that you are proud of them and proud of how they came into your family. So if you take away nothing from this video, take away at least one thing. It is up to you and how you and your spouse decide what is the best way to bond with your child. You don't have to do all these things. These are just ideas, but you get to, and it's an honor to, look at your child in the eyes, that baby in their eyes, and realize they're mine and I am theirs. And what a beautiful moment that is, and you get to build on that for the rest of their lives. Write in the comments below. I would love to hear your own bonding moments, your own bonding stories, what worked for you, what didn't work for you. Share those below. I'd love to hear those. Make sure to come on over and follow me on Instagram. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. This channel is for adoption, race, family, real life. We get all nitty-gritty on all of this stuff, and we together can build an awesome community of adoptions and foster care and just a beautiful support for each other. So thank you for watching, and make sure you share your own bonding stories below. Oh, and not sponsored by Dave Ramsey. We just really like his show, and it's an awesome mug. When you think about becoming a child. I'm getting way too... All right.
Yeah, I did.
Should we start this over?
No, this is perfect. She can edit.
What did you say? I wasn't even listening to you. Can we start this over?
That is unfortunate.
I wasn't even listening to you.
Tami, just leave this all in. This is good stuff. It's like just raw. This is us.
I don't know about that. Now, go get another cup of coffee.
Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day.